If you're looking for a job, there's no doubt that you started getting served ads about businesses that you can just run on your own. And you'll have the guys show up in their Lambo and tell you what a great business is, how you need to be a Bitcoin bro, or how you need to be in Amazon business, or how you need to be in one thing or another. And you're wondering, what exactly is all this about? But you're still interested in finding a job. Most people, that's how they make their living. They tend to make their living working in a job. Well, my name's Jason Roberts. I've been a recruiter for 25 years, but what I haven't said on this channel is that I'm also a business owner. In fact, I own 3 different businesses, and I firmly believe in having multiple streams of income. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, stay tuned. I'll tell you exactly what my streams are and how much money I make from those. All right, a very important caveat. I should tell you, I don't sell any of this stuff. I have no skin in this game. I can't give you a brochure on how to do it. I can't really give you anything other than finding a job. And actually, that's probably the thing I'll advocate the first is I still think it makes sense if you're going to build a business to have a job. Having a job is the way that the large majority of people in our society currently make a living. Most people do not run their own business. Most people do have a job. Now, here's why I think multiple streams of income makes a lot of sense. Multiple streams of income basically is saying I'm not putting all of my eggs in one basket, especially today when there's really very little loyalty within a company. You can't trust a company to take care of you as an individual. The company's first and largest responsibility oftentimes is in making sure that they are a viable and ongoing concern and that their shareholders are doing well. So that's step one for most companies. And as a result, you kind of have to take care of yourself on some of this other stuff. So that's what we'll talk about right now. How do you set yourself up so that if you face a layoff, if you face a time when you've had enough, you're burned out, it's time to leave a job, that's not a big deal. That you can still pay your bills, you can still make it, you can still function and maintain your lifestyle, fulfill the responsibilities that you have financially without having to freak out, or even worse, without having to take a job that is not the job that you want next. That's a worse job than you had before. So that's what I think the value of a side hustle is. I think it's good insurance, but I think working in a job is also good. I have a job that I love, and I will do it as long as they'll have me. I enjoy my work quite a bit, but I also do a bunch of other stuff. And here's the stuff that I do. The first business that I owned was actually a retail store. I own a comic book store, and I have a really great staff that runs this comic book store. I'm in about once a week in the shop, and I'm doing some paperwork and things on the back end. I keep an eye on what's happening. The shop, if you happen to want to check it out, is multiverse.shop online. So if you want to go just see what my comic shop looks like, that's where you can find us. We're in Hurst, Texas, in our brick and mortar store, but that's what I do. And that store, it does okay. Retail is really hard. What I'll tell you is a good retail store makes about 5-10% of its revenue as profits. And it is a difficult business. You have to manage it really tightly. I have a good manager that runs mine for me. He does a good job. That's his full-time job. And I have 4 other part-time workers that are part of that business as well. We even have a podcast and all sorts of fun stuff, but it's really more fun than making money. That thing probably, if I don't take money out of it, I put my money back into that business. But if I wanted to take money out of that business, I think I could probably pull out $35,000-$40,000 just in profits from that. If I really pushed and compressed what we needed to do and managed it tightly, we could do that. If I worked it myself instead of having a full-time manager, it would probably be about $75,000 a year that I could do. So that's that job. So a retail store, having a retail outlet and standing up a shop. The startup cost for that was relatively low. What I'll say is doing it well, you're probably $20,000, $50,000, something like that to start that up. And it's been a fun business. It's really a passion project for me more than it is a moneymaker, but that's my first business. The second business I'll tell you about, it's an Amazon FBA business. Now, I had this idea on a little invention. I had this patentable thing that I came up with that I didn't think anybody else had done before. As it turns out, I was right. Nobody else had done it before. So this idea was patented. I found a factory in China that could make this product for me. I kind of figured out what my revenues would be if I sold this at the volumes that I expected to sell at. And it's about $10,000 a month in top line revenue. And had somebody been trying to make that, ships it directly to Amazon. Amazon then does all the work from there. So they receive the goods, they distribute them all across the country. I have products all over the country in Amazon warehouses, and we do, 1 and 2 day deliveries. Amazon does all that work. I don't have to have employees or anyone do that. It's 100% Amazon. That business is called Fulfilled by Amazon, or Amazon FBA. There's 2 ways that you can do that. You can do that as a private seller selling wholesale. And I have sold some wholesale stuff. I do a wholesale piece of business there where I sell things that I buy from wholesalers or distributors from the comic shop, and I sell those through Amazon. But where the real money is, where I think it is a better deal, is in private label, meaning I have my own private label of products that I sell, and I sell them there. So far, I have 1 product, and I have an idea for 2 more, and we're about to launch those 2 in the coming months. So here's how this works. I do about $10,000 a month in sales, about $120,000 a year. This past month, the profit on that was $3,800. So we'll say for a full year, some months down, some months up. Last month was an up month. So just call it, conservatively $3,000 a month in a normal year, And we're looking at about $36,000 per year per product, right? So hopefully all my other product do as well as the first one. And that's how that goes. So that's Amazon FBA, private label business. That's the one you want, the private label piece. I think that's better than the wholesale business. Wholesale, the margins are just too low. Like my current margins I'm doing like 40% on the product that I have out there, and it's doing really well. So that's that business. And I encourage you to try that. It's a wide open field. Again, I don't make anything off of that. What I will do is I'll plug, even without an affiliate link or anything, I'll just tell you who I used. You have a bunch of real squirrely dudes that are out there that are trying to sell you stuff. The one that I found, I got lucky. I could have been scammed, but I wasn't. It was Private Label Masters, or PLM. And that's a really good program. Those people are great coaches. They do good work, and they legitimately want you to be successful. They want their students to be successful. So I've had great success with that. I encourage you to try it too. If you're looking for another stream of income, FBA is a great stream of income. I spend about an hour a week on that, maybe at the most. I like to look at my sales every day. Like they come in, I can look at them on my phone. It's kind of fun. It's a good time. I might spend an hour a day at that. And I do lots of podcasts and listen to lots of stuff about them. I enjoy that part. So I don't count that as work necessarily, the listening to things and learning more about it. But, if you were to count those hours, I probably spend more than 1 hour a week on it, but just not that much. What I'm required to do, it's about an hour a week. And I can keep making my $36,000 from now until, however long people still want to buy this thing, which doesn't seem to be slowing down any. So here's how long it took me to get to that money. It took me 2 months. The second month I made $3,000 in that month, and I haven't slowed down. There was one time I was about to run out of product and I raised the price to slow down sales. But that's the one time that I think I came in like at $2,400, $2,800, something got weird there. But yeah, that's it. Great business to get into. I highly encourage you to try it. The last business is something that I really don't talk about very much here, but I do some private coaching when people need help finding jobs. So every once in a while, I take on private clients. I don't do very many of those. I have 3 or 4 that I'll manage at a time. So those private coaching sessions add up to about $500 a month that I do. So that's an additional piece. And they usually come out of this YouTube channel. Somebody will reach out to me or want to engage with me. They'll find me on LinkedIn, and I take on just a few of those private coaching customers over time. That's not a thing that I really have leaned on very much. I haven't thought very much about this. Perhaps that's something I'll do more of, but I think private coaching based on something that you're very knowledgeable about, it's a great business to be in, and people need help. The people that I think are doing really well at this are people that are good at things with large volumes of people that need help. So it happens that lots of people need jobs right now. So I have had to turn a bunch of the people away that have asked me. But for the ones that maybe I interacted with them a lot in comments, or they had a story that I was like, oh yeah, I really want to help you, then I've taken them on as clients over a period of time. And that's worked out. They've done well. And I have some really cool stories on people who have found jobs, and it kind of makes me feel good. So that's part of the deal there. But private coaching is this last one that I will tell you about. So those are my 3 side hustles, right? One really is to make money. The other 2 are not. The other one is a passion project. And the other, I guess it's a passion project too. Finding people jobs is sort of a thing that I like to do. I want to do 2 things for you. One is if you need help finding a job, the place to start is in your resume. And I'm going to leave my resume template, my free resume template here for you, free of charge. That's the starting point. Also, my most popular video right now, the thing that people seem to be most interested in, is one that I'm going to link right here. And it's about how to use ChatGPT to customize your resume. So I thought that might be useful for you as well. That is the core of what I do. My base is that I help people find jobs. But this is a little bit of a different video for me. And let me know if you want to see more of this kind of content. It's a part of my job that I don't talk about a whole lot, part of my life I don't talk about a lot. I just feel like there's a lot of people in that space. But if you want to hear more about it, I'm happy to say more. Just let me know in comments.